Hi, Ston. It's October 6th. It's October 16th today, and we're at the town hall for town planning board meeting. Typically, they may not decide until the actual meeting whether it's going to be zoning board or planning board, but we're thinking tonight it is going to be a planning board meeting, and that's going to put Pete Donahue as the chair of that meeting today. So we're going to get started here in about 15 or 20 minutes, setting up the equipment. Hi there. And talking with some of the folks before the meeting if we have an opportunity. We might spend a couple of minutes talking with Pete to get some of the specifics on how quickly they might be rolling out this new zoning project, ordinance I should say, and how that's going to impact any of the folks currently in town with no projects on the horizon right now, but that may be looking at building something in the next 6 months or so on their properties. Just kind of get an idea if there's going to be any impact to local constituents and building things on their home properties where they live versus new businesses coming into town and building large projects, whether it's a retail store or an auto repair store or any other kind of full-fledged business that might be purchasing the lot and trying to build on that in one of these commercial districts that they've now set up for Route 46 here and for the Stokes Westerville Road. So we'll ask him a couple questions about that and see if we get any feedback from him to help us kind of determine how this new zoning ordinance might change some folks' lives here in town.
You're not one of these OCD people that's got to have an exactly right angle, are you?
No.
OCD everywhere.
I tilt everything at a 75-degree angle and see what happens. Right, there we go.
So, did you guys see what they did with the buildings for putting cameras up there? Is that insane? The kid games, they're like little kids games. Is that insane? Is that something? It's like, I'm surprised they won't change the design of the building, to preclude anyone being able to see it and doing things. You know what I'm saying? Just, you can't see it.
I tried getting a big copy, I just didn't have time to figure it out.
What they had, I sent that, I labeled the town address. I sent
The audio that you did at home. Do it now.
Settings.
Oh, it's audio. Hey, don't touch my equipment, please. Call the police. Please.
Is this sign to say behind here?
Let me get my phone.
Doesn't matter, it's against the law, so just stop with the camera crap.
It is not against the law.
Yes, please.
And that's gonna be gone by next week too.
You just pass it.
It says you're in
Oh, let me
violation
get
of
some
the
for
law.
Pete.
Thank you.
then you can bring it in front of the board. You can present whatever it is you have in front of the board, and the board will take action on it. But until then, the town has set a set of standards. The town has set a set of standards for recording of the meeting
I'm not gonna argue.
to stay behind the pole.
This is a distraction. People are having a conversation.
That is not an unreasonable request.
We probably only need
No, it is not.
planning.
It is not. You can go look at any.
The town board meeting, he walked across in front of me 4 times the other night. That's distracting the
Don't
meeting.
yell, please, people, don't yell.
That's why you shouldn't be.
I think he's a 12-year-old.
The child is right
The
there.
child is just walking out the door there because he insists on trying to violate what the town said is a reasonable standard for recording of the meeting. And nobody has countermanded that. The town officially adopted a standard. Did you go to court and get it overturned?
Can we talk?
Did you go to court and have it overturned?
No, I said
Okay, then it
everything
stands.
to New York State. New York State said you're not reasonable and that you need to call.
Then you present something to me from New York State that says it's not reasonable.
I'll print it out. I haven't
Bring it to me so the sheds, it's not reasonable to restrict you to that particular part of the area.
Make extra copies.
Oh, absolutely. This is beyond it.
If you have a problem with the town standard, you can go to court and have it overturned.
I just don't understand why everybody has a problem with cameras.
We don't have a problem
We don't
with the
have a
camera.
problem with cameras. What we have a problem with is the entire room covered with cameras, starting at the fireplace, going all the way back over everything. You're allowed
How
to
hard is it
record.
understand? There's a sign right here. No video equipment beyond this point. Somebody obviously needs a lot of attention. So we're trying to do business for the citizens of the town. We have one person who doesn't like that. So are we supposed to give up?
What's wrong with that camera sitting up there?
The town board, not
I
us.
don't like it in my
The
face.
town board made a rule that the camera was supposed to be
When
in the
I
back
present you
corner.
with the email, you're gonna take the signs down, right?
I'm not gonna take the signs down unless the town board
Take it to the
tells me
town
to.
board.
New York State said also, every time you move the cameras, that's a $500 fine.
Bring it to the
There
town
is no
board.
such
It's
provision
the
in the
town
law.
Town
board.
board, it's not us.
We are all
Do you
volunteers here.
realize that you belong to a radical left-hand group in the name of being right-wing?
How do you figure?
What's the name of
Are you gonna
the
take that down or
association
not?
you belong to, Mark?
See, now we're gonna, see, now who's the child? Are you gonna hold your breath?
You could stand behind the pole with the camera in your
Yeah.
hand if you want, that's not a problem. I guess I gotta start coming to some town board meetings, I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah, right now, there is a town standard in effect. When you have that overturned, you can modify how you put your cameras.
Because,
It's that simple.
Frankly, doesn't believe what I tell him in New York State.
Well, I can't even read
So
this.
why are you putting them out so you can serve them? And when you violate, you sue them.
You don't need cheaters yet.
Everybody who's sitting there.
I just had stuff in my eyes. I just got wrapped like I
And it also says you're not supposed to be disruptive to the meetings.
Yeah,
You
the
are
only
every
people
meeting.
being disruptive is the members of the board.
We are simply trying to enforce a standard that
I
the
know,
town
I'm
put into
here
place.
quietly.
When the standard
Trying
is
to read
overturned, they
minutes.
can do what they want. Right now, the standard says keep your video equipment just behind the poles. I don't see that as being such overly restrictive. You can see everything going on in a room from there, just as much as you can see it from over there. Tell me how that restricts your ability to record.
No, we're a child now, because we can't talk.
Tell me how that restricts your ability
Are
to
you going
record
to
the
give me
meeting.
the ability to speak?
The meeting is
No.
not started yet.
Okay, so I can speak? And this is not going to be considered a distraction, correct?
As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if I'm gonna hold a meeting tonight, because you
Oh,
are
I'm just
causing
saying, are you
some
going to let me
distraction.
talk, and is this going to be considered a distraction or not?
I just want to go home.
How can we talk with you when you can't follow simple instructions?
Okay, so apparently he said no, I am not going to speak.
Does anyone here remember the Constitutional Caucus?
Oh, please.
Seriously.
I'm
It's not a joke, Pete. Does anyone remember the Constitutional Caucus of Oneida County?
I'm leaving.
Are you really that blind? He can literally move 3 feet and
I
nobody
know,
will say
but
nothing.
we can't say anything, we can't, policy doesn't trump constitutional rights. That doesn't bother me, I don't care. Personally, if I like it or not, it doesn't matter. If we're gonna be in public, we're public figures, end of subject, but it's just like,
Bingo.
this is ridiculous, what's the difference? We just need to get these done, we need to get our board stuff done, stop canceling meetings.
Never had the issues till this crew showed up.
Because you guys, excuse me? What'd you say?
That's
I said, we never had
Stop,
these
stop,
issues,
stop.
I'll speak into the mic, never had these issues till this crew showed up.
People want to know what's going on.
These meetings have been open to the public ever since we've been holding them. All you had to do was walk in and sit down in the chair, and you can see exactly what's going on. Anybody. The town board meetings, the zoning board meetings, and the planning board meetings have always been open public meetings. Nobody has ever restricted anybody from walking in here. If you wanted to know what was going on, all you had to do was come in and sit down and watch.
You realize people don't always have the time, some people.
That's not my problem.
Right, but you could also live stream the meeting. You know what? You get rid of all these cameras.
When the meetings were live streamed under the video conferencing capability that was set in place for the pandemic, that was true. They could video conference the meetings. They're not required to do so anymore.
Right. you're not-
We've never done that.
Right, but under the Americans with Disabilities Act, you're required to if somebody makes an issue about it. And all you could do is live stream over via Facebook. And you know what? You get rid of all the controversy. Nobody wants-
Listen.
I got a question for you. You actually think he's gonna get
John.
his rocks off by not being here and have it live streamed?
What do you got to demean that?
I'm not demeaning him.
I guarantee
I'm just asking you.
If you live streamed it and you allow people to participate from home, I bet you his cameras go away.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Unless we're holding a public hearing,
Yep.
there is no public comment unless we ask for it.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay? So
Then
you can sit there and watch all night long.
Absolutely. So people can watch it, at least they see what's going on.
Then take it up with the town board.
We have.
Well, then, if they're not solving your problem, don't come to us with that.
Well, Carl.
We are simply following, the town board put a policy in place, and we're here to follow it.
Right. Diane had a fit at the last meeting, and Charlie was there next to her, and I pointed out that they were in violation of their own town ordinance for the camera, because they moved his camera just like Paul P did, and it says cameras can be supervised and unsupervised. And they were telling him they had to be supervised, so they don't even know what they're doing. And then Ryan Tebow says, it says one camera, it says nowhere in the ordinance. Again, they're violating their own damn
It's not
ordinance.
an ordinance, it was a policy.
Okay, policy. You can call it what you want. Potato, potato. It's pretty sad when the people who pass it don't know what the hell's in it. And then it makes.
So I got a
everybody
question.
feel-
Hypothetically,
Yep.
what's worse? People do stuff here, it's transparent and there's truth. Or is it worse when somebody goes around, spreads lies, gets people up in arms over stuff that has not even been an issue? What's worse?
Well, if it's transparent, why don't you let the cameras up? I don't understand why there's a problem.
We haven't stopped the
We haven't
cameras.
stopped them, we just asked them to.
Well, what's the problem? If you guys have said the southeast corner, which direction is north?
Southwest.
Southwest. It's that way, right? So southwest corner is back behind you, isn't it?
No,
I know
southwest
he-
corner would be over there.
North, south, west. Southwest would be right there.
Well, that'd be
Right here.
back there, because that'd be northwest. That'd be south.
Yeah, but see, he'll be quiet about the helicopter's gonna go on the town's water supply. Nowhere near the town's water supply.
Town doesn't have a water supply.
It's a private citizen's water supply, or private people
But
have
then
it.
if you put cameras up, you leave.
No, the point is, even with the cameras here, even with all the stuff broadcast, I've gone online and I've read all this stuff. And you excuse my French, but there is so much bullshit out there, so much misappropriation of what's been said, that it's really frustrating. I don't care if you record it all night long. If you play the entire recording, that's fine.
Right.
Okay? The camera sitting right back there behind the pole can record just as well as it can sitting up there. Okay? And that's why the town said, this is where we're setting it up.
Right, but Diane put those up last meeting, and Charlie backed away from all that. After I pointed out to them that their ordinance or policy, whatever, New York State had an issue with it, and I told them exactly what the state said about it, and then they had these signs up. And nowhere in the policy does it say a distance.
It simply said behind the support
Yeah,
post,
but
that's all
she's
it said.
adding
It said
on.
a person is entitled to a camera.
It doesn't say that in the policy, read it. It doesn't say it.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. I can present you a copy of that as well. I just think if you guys would live stream, you'd get rid of all the hoopla and there's no questions. People would see it, they could tune in.
It's just sad though that when something is stated and said, and then somebody takes it home because he's got the wizardry with computers, that he had to sit and changes what was said and meant.
I would be willing to make you a bet that if we live stream this meeting, everybody would be sitting at home watching Monday Night Football.
I can't stand football.
Neither can I. I don't watch it. But they'll find something else. They're not gonna sit here and watch they're not gonna sit here and watch the planning board,
How do you not know
review comments and stuff.
How do you know?
Because I know people.
Right.
The same reason that they're not sitting out there in those chairs is the reason why they're not gonna watch it at home, because they don't really care. As long as it doesn't affect them, they don't really
But it
care.
does affect them.
The only people that care are here in this room fussing about their cameras.
No.
But in the same token, it does care, it does affect them. You guys are talking about getting a bond for a bridge up the road for $3 million. You're talking about a bond for a town hall. That's everybody's wallet. That's our money. You guys all work for us. We're not your little pawns. You answer to us. And I think that's what a lot
I
of.
don't answer to you, I answer to the town board. You have a problem with the board, you can take it to the town board, we answer to them. They appoint us, not you.
Right.
We don't get voted into office, we're appointed members of a municipal board.
You're still accountable to the citizens and the constituents. You can't just do what you want.
Well, no, we got all kinds of rules and regulations.
There's all kinds of rules and regulations that govern what we do.
Anybody can record anything, and I watch it all the time. I'm so into frickin' politics. It's not funny. Okay, I'm not even talking local town. I'm talking right up to the
No,
White
it's-
House, where people,
it's
they'll
not-
make up stuff, they'll put whatever they want, they'll film, they'll turn it into whatever they want, and nobody can do anything about it, whether we hate it or like it. Okay?
sound
Nobody can do
bites.
anything about it. It's the First Amendment. You see it. I mean, if you were into politics like I am, and you're watching what's going down in DC, you're watching the media, you're watching, look
I
at
got
the
a question for you.
Yep.
You watch everything on TV, right? Or down on policy.
I try to
Can
keep up.
can a reporter go on the elevator with a congressman?
I've
No,
never
they
seen
can't,
a
because there
video.
are certain limitations of where the cameras can go.
Okay, but not in
Right?
this building. Not in this building. Okay, no one here is a congressman. Okay, this is what I'm, trying to say.
You can't foul anybody anywheres with a camera.
Yes, you can. If they're out in public,
If I walk in that bathroom right now, he can't follow me with that camera.
Not in a bathroom, there's laws against bathroom, it's voyeurism.
If
but
we
if
walk in-
if
If
I'm
we
walking
open
down
that,
the
if
street.
we open
state
that
law.
door and walk into that office and
Yeah.
close the door, you may not walk in.
You can't just walk.
Nobody goes in there.
If the
That's
assessor,
executive
if
session.
the
Right.
assessor, if the
Exactly.
assessor comes and he's doing his work and he
Exactly.
closes the door, you
This is-
cannot
I
just
walk
don't
in
see
there.
what the big deal
If
is.
the codes officer walks in there and he's
Do you-
doing his business and closes the door, you cannot walk in there.
This room is open to the public, correct?
The meeting
we
is
made
open to the public.
accommodations.
And we've made reasonable
Why-
accommodations for
Why
setting up
is he,
cameras.
why is he more special than anybody else?
I'm not saying he's special or anything else. What I'm saying is, that is legal. There's nothing we can do about it. So why do we dwell
Yes,
on
there
it
is.
and just get into the
town-
meeting?
The town can set reasonable standards. If somebody believes they're not reasonable, they can challenge them in court, and if the court says they're unreasonable, they will stop enforcing it. But until the town's policy is designated, is adjudged unreasonable, we have the right to enforce it.
I believe that the policy.
You can sit there and tell me all night long that it's perfectly legal. If the town sets what they think is a reasonable standard, they can enforce it until they are told it's not reasonable.
I'm just telling you, that's not my understanding.
Well, that's how the law, actually works.
Be able to do our meetings.
And I have read through numerous cases about people recording meetings and stuff. And Charlie said, hey, read this so you can understand it. And I did. And as long as the accommodations are reasonable, then they can be enforced. He does not have the right to take his camera and walk up here and stick it in my face. That's an unreasonable accommodation
I don't
to have to
see
do
it in
that.
anybody's face, and I think these meetings should continue regardless of anybody filming. I just don't think we have a case here.
I don't
think
care either, but the town board set a standard, and the standard should be enforced. That's all I'm saying. When the standard is overturned, it will not be enforced.
Learn something.
I don't think that standard was legally set.
The town attorney looked at it and he said, those are reasonable accommodations.
The town attorney said that.
Whether
Diane sat
whether
there and
you
said
think it's legal or not
She
is-
called her own attorney.
Whether you think it's legal or not is irrelevant. When a court of competent jurisdiction says they are not reasonable accommodations, you have to let them up there, we will let them up there. Your opinion and my opinion
Okay,
don't
so if
matter.
we're wrong,
I didn't say we're wrong. I said our opinions don't matter.
what I'm
The
saying
town
is,
board
if
passed
the
a-
board is wrong.
The town board passed a
If the board is
regulation.
wrong,
Until that regulation is overturned,
That's when
it
we're gonna get
stands.
sued.
That's the way the law
Okay.
works, whether you like it
So
or
is it gonna
not.
be a civil suit against the board or each of us individually? That's what I wanna know.
You can obviously tell by the way he's snickering that this is what he enjoys. So I'm just gonna call the meeting, not gonna have a meeting tonight because,
But why?
We don't really have nothing anyway to.
Why?
because
He's not gonna say anything.
look at him snickering. He's getting off on this.
We're canceling the meeting, we're going home. I don't have to write anything down.
We are distracted. We have a citizen who refuses to accommodate.
He's not disrupting.
I've asked,
We're not having this, do I write any minutes for it? That's
we
my.
can't have it.
We haven't
We're
called, there's
distracted.
been no meeting called.
Okay, so I can go home.
Yeah, we're done. Sorry, everybody. Were you ever in law enforcement?
Yeah, for 21 years.
Yeah, well, it shocks me.
Stop, Pete, that's an insult. You
No.
don't need to insult.
I'm
me.
not insulted, I'm just
Don't need to
asking
insult.
simple questions.
All right, just hold on to those minutes, because we'll go over them next, whenever we meet and approve them, and then I'll get the final draft, so. And I'm sorry that they're not like all, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
No, I look good.
Not yet.
No problem there at all.
Maybe that's what we ought to do. Teams and whoever wins, that's the end of it.
Yeah, right, that's a good way, out in the parking lot.
That's it.
Let's
As
go.
long as Donna's got the cameras running, I had a couple of notes that I was gonna bring tonight, I'm gonna say it anyway.
Okay, do I write it down?
No, this is just my passing on information that I learned in looking up other things.
Is this an opinion?
There was this is an opinion, there was a comment that I read that our late town clerk should not have been a member of the planning board. Well, as it turns out, there is nothing in the law preventing her from being a member of the planning board. The only restriction that exists in law is that a town board member may not be a member of the appointed boards. Okay, so that statement outlined that it was illegal for her to be a member is factually incorrect. There is nothing in law that would prohibit her from doing that. Okay? Second of all, there was a huge issue about whether or not Mr. Spoor should have recused himself from the vote on the fire department.
Yes,
Under the ZBA.
I ask you that.
Okay? And here's the way it works. Mr. Spoor, me, Pete, nobody of the members of this board or the zoning board is subject to the state ethics codes. The town of Western adopted the municipal ethics code back in 2019. It's on the website and you can read it there. Okay? The requirement for recusal exists if and when a member of a board has what they call an interest in a matter. And the interest is defined in law as having a significant financial or material interest in the matter at hand.
And he does.
He does not.
He's in the state retirement system for the fire department, is he not?
No.
He has no retirement.
Excuse me. There is no fire, there is no fire department in the town of Western. The town of Western contracts with a private 501c3 organization to provide fire services for the town.
Volunteer.
Mr. Spoor is not a member of the board of governors of that organization at this particular time. His decision to recuse is a personal one. There is no financial or material interest that he holds in what he voted on.
But he does, because as a volunteer fireman, correct me, Phil, you are in the retirement system. You get a finite pension at the end of your service.
None.
That is
Zero.
incorrect.
Since when?
It's always been that
I
way.
have never been.
Be nice to have, but
Retirement
it's.
system.
I'll bring you a copy.
That would be
You-
nice if
you get a
everybody that,
pension.
like, everybody has their source, where they're getting the
I'll
legal
print it out.
information and
I'd
brings
be
it
more
with
than-
them.
Just like
If
me.
you want to read, if you
I
want to
have
read,
mine,
if
just
you want to read the
secretary
ethics
stuff.
code for the town, it is on the website. You can
And
look
they
it up.
encourage them strongly to call them, but they don't want to.
And the Volunteer Fire Company of Western
Oh, yeah, and.
Is a private
is a
corporation.
private corporation. They have no employees. If you look up the I-990, which is their tax return, you will find that there are no employees. They are funded, they are activated only by membership. No one gets any financial benefit from it,
Well,
other than reimbursement for their expenses.
that's not true. Nida County just passed volunteer firemen and first responders get a 5% or a percentage tax break. I don't know what the percentage is.
Because it ain't a law yet.
Well, it's going through.
They passed it, but it's not a law yet.
Doesn't exist now.
But I'll bring in the documentation that
And
talks
you
about the
you
retirement.
still have to establish for me how that constitutes a financial or material interest in the matter at hand with the fire department getting a permit to put in the helicopter.
All right,
pad.
let's Nick say that. On 3 occasions, Phil has said helicopters were called for and not available from January to July. I have a phone call into the clearinghouse for the helicopter. They said no. Called 911. They deferred to the clearinghouse. So Phil, where did you get this erroneous information?
One right in Floyd where a woman got bit by a dog. Copter wasn't available. There's one in Sylvan Beach about 3 weeks before that. Copter was not available. Even up in West Leiden, when that guy lost it going around the corner, weather conditions didn't allow the copter, but if a copter had been here, he could have.
Okay, but why
But
doesn't, why?
that's not relevant to the question at hand.
No, it's not.
No, it goes to whole character as far as Phil, because he said that how many times at meetings, helicopters are called for and unavailable, and that wasn't the case.
You haven't proved that. You haven't proved, you haven't even come close to proving that.
New laws for zoning and planning, now that the paperwork is in.
No, we had.
You forwarded them to the board, right?
No.
What's that?
The planning and zoning board, the new laws that were appendixed in the website?
What new laws?
The draft of the zoning.
Oh, the zoning drafts? Yeah, they're on the website.
Yeah.
The
so-
draft is, but
But
we're not, we're waiting. the
we're
county-
waiting for,
The county
We
has
have
do
to
it.
satisfy the comments from the county before they
oh,
can be acted
okay,
on.
so they sent it back, but they need questions
Yeah.
answered. Okay, that's what.
They had comments that have to be answered. I'm in the process of revising based on, they said, you just have to make these revisions and then let them know that you've made them and then.
I just
it'll
was
be
wondering
okay.
what the next step on that was.
Yeah.
Talk to us, because you're gonna get a lot better than you're gonna get.
Well, I was just saying, Sean and I have come to 4 meetings now, and they all get canceled. We have learned
We're
nothing.
trying to get involved in the
We're trying to
town's
get,
business, so we
they
know
all
what's
get
going on, and we
canceled.
understand it, with the encouragement of my neighbor, which I took to heart.
Appreciate,
And I've
right,
learned
to try to
absolutely
learn
nothing in the
something,
last 4 meetings.
and they all
because of
get
this stuff.
canceled.
Yeah, it's petty.
You can say that again,
Right, that one
yes,
person-
it's
that one
absurd.
person-
The
I think it's-
behavior is
I don't think
absurd.
it's all on one side though.
It's absurd.
Do you
I
know,
don't think it's all one side.
ask him how many people that he
I'm
controls
not
on
gonna
their
ask him
website.
anything.
He
I'm not
controls
gonna ask him
nobody.
anything.
We're
And if you
witness
just-
to
You
it.
got Don Mulvaney, that's
Going
not
by what I
him.
see and hear.
He doesn't control
It doesn't
anybody.
He
matter.
just walked back to you and had to tell you what to ask.
He can talk to whatever he wants, it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter what is there.
Damn.
Okay, we're here, okay?
You
The
know,
minutes, everything's done here.
And it's ended.
And whatever happens on the web, on Facebook or whatever, that's,
Well, you talk about censorship, if you put anything that opposes his opinion, boom, you're off the site, gone. And I can bring you 20 people that can tell you
Oh, I
that.
don't know
about that, we don't do any
No, I don't do
stuff, so I
social
don't
media.
know.
that's the
But
trouble.
we only know what we
I've seen and heard.
witnessed here, is all we
That's it.
know.
I don't do social media, I don't do Facebook,
And it's
I don't do any of
fighting
that stuff.
like children.
I know what I see
And you
here.
cancel the meeting, and it's like, I can't believe
And,
this.
and
This
if
is our
you
town.
had started coming to the meetings a year ago,
it doesn't matter what.
we'd have got along fine, everybody in here did.
But this is legal, it's your First
that's not the
Amendment
point.
right, I don't
Listen,
understand.
stop with the First Amendment.
Why?
First
That's
Amendment,
our
the First
constitutional right.
Amendment is about free speech. This issue here is about the New York State Open Meetings Law. It is not the
Correct.
same thing as First.
I read that.
His First Amendment rights say he can pretty much post whatever he wants on Facebook, and I can assure you, he does, because I've read them. And
Yeah.
I've tried to respond to him, and now, if you want to know, if restricted, for 4 weeks now, I have been waiting to be let back in again so I can comment on some of
Here's
the
your
things he's
email from
posted.
New York
I
State.
can't. I've posted 5 times, and now I'm restricted because I haven't been let back in. So what I have to do is copy his post, go over to my own page on Facebook, and send them out to everybody else and said, this is what's being said out there, and this is what the truth is.
But this, the whole thing is.
I thank you for supplying that, because it just proves our point.
What's that? It says not reasonable. And you, and the board is encouraged to contact New York State because they think they're in violation of the law.
It does not state that at all. That 100% validates what we're doing.
Yeah. There's nothing in here that says that he can come. Listen, it says.
You're acting like he has that camera inside the carrier dome trying to film the whole thing.
How do you figure? Do you read the email?
This room is what, 20 by 25? If not even 16 by 20? How many, you want 9 cameras in here? How many cameras do you want?
Maybe we have 15.
What would it matter? Say you put one on the other way of that doorway, shine this way, and one shine that way, it'd have the whole meeting. Would you guys be good with that?
We're fine with it right there.
What about one back there? Because he can't see the board members that have their back to us.
So
I'll sit forward next time, I can apply to that, not a problem.
Okay, let me read to you what you just presented to us.
Okay.
Because you've mischaracterized what it is.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, it says, the law allows a public body, like a town board, to adopt rules reasonably govern the location of equipment and personnel used for that purpose in the section. In our opinion, so long as the use is not disruptive to the meeting, rules against video camera use would not be reasonable and in compliance with the open meeting law. It doesn't say that the policy that the town put that says keep the cameras right back there is illegal. It doesn't even answer that question.
I'm seeing
Does
that
it?
it's gotta be disruptive.
No, it says reasonably govern the location of equipment and personnel used. The town board is allowed to do that. The town board has put that policy in place. And there is nothing in here that says, there is nothing in here that says the town board's policy is unreasonable.
So
Because we're not
what's
restricting the
disruptive?
use of
When he's constantly going
cameras.
back and forth because the cameras are beeping?
Okay, I've never noticed that, but I'm busy doing my thing.
He walked
and,
across 4 times at the town
You wanna
board
say
meeting the
that?
other
I
night.
saw you text him, where's Don?
Huh?
Just be honest.
What do you mean, where's Don? I texted him, where's Don?
See, this is, you
Oh, I
guys,
did to her.
Okay, and it also says we're not obligated to live stream anything.
No, you,
But
did you
if
or
Don
did you
wants to
not
come in,
say?
set his camera up and
something
live
can
stream,
be
that's
left
perfectly
alone? You
fine,
can't
and I don't
move
have a
something
problem with
somewhere.
that.
Okay, so I texted, where is Don? Only to say, get back to wherever your camera is.
What's that?
Insane.
So what are you trying to?
All I'm saying is that the town board passed a policy that so far, and at least according to the town attorney, is a reasonable accommodation for cameras. What I see is this gentleman in the back constantly challenging that. And that I consider to be childish.
What is
Because
the town attorney say, though?
it does not affect his ability to record in any manner.
Carl, what does the town attorney say about it?
The town attorney looked at the policy and said, this is okay.
All right.
He looked at the existing town thing and said that would be reasonable, you
Okay,
can do that.
so we should sue Don for doing it?
No, but we can prohibit him from putting the camera there.
Because then
We can ask him to remove the
Diane,
camera.
at the meet, I don't know if you were here, Diane said she called her attorney, okay, and she said that the policy was reasonable. Why couldn't she just ask the one that's being
We
paid
did,
for by the
already.
town?
They
He didn't
sent-
say anything, he didn't say who.
Charlie never says anything, but they sent a copy of the policy to Charlie, and he sent it back, and I saw his response, and he said, yes, this appears to be a reasonable policy under the open meetings law.
But if you read it, it says,
I'm gonna send a copy of it to
Skim right over what?
the
It
town.
says nothing about, that's not even a judgment on the town's policy. It's just an open opinion about about whether somebody can record or not. You didn't even send them the policy. All they got back was a letter that said, yeah, you're allowed to record. and it's
This
got-
is a generic response to the.
That's a generic
Yeah.
response.
hey, you're entitled to your opinion. She sent the thing, the wife did. And that's why they responded back to my wife.
I don't see anything, I don't see anything in there.
Sure she does.
I don't see anything in there that says,
The attorney's probably gonna use that.
I don't see anything in there
Who was
that
it-
says the town's
who was it
policy would
sent
be
to?
considered
This is to my
unreasonable.
wife,
Okay, but she sent it to,
this guy with New York State. And that's why he was talking about a 78 special procedure to address any grievances.
Yeah,
I'm gonna send it
you
to,
go to court.
actually, an attorney that is in Congress right now.
Let me ask you this.
And I'll get
Congress has nothing to do with this. This is New
No,
York
she's
State
an
law.
attorney.
This is New York State
Yes,
law.
but she lives in New York State, okay, and she is a congresswoman.
Good for her.
So,
Claudia Chan.
don't say good for her, I just
Claudia
said
Chan.
I'm going to get the information.
I know Claudia very well myself.
And if she comes back and gives an opinion, it still won't matter.
Illegal.
No,
Attorney's
I don't
opinion.
care if she's an attorney's advice, an attorney's response is advice. That's all it is. It's not law, it's not regulation or anything else. What the town board passed is a regulation.
Okay, I'm gonna
So
ask
set a
her
policy that
all
says,
about
here's how
that,
you can
regulations,
report.
if this is a good regulation, bad, I don't know.
Nobody is
Okay, but
prohibiting
it's
anybody
like-
from using cameras here, they're just simply saying there's a
The
point.
board is
beyond
prohibiting the
truth.
meetings. That's what the problem is, okay? We should be having a meeting right now. I'm prepared, I'm here, we should be having a meeting.
Yep, I agree. We have one person who's disrupting us.
So Phil, you said a dog bite, do you know when that was?
I don't know the date.
What was the other two?
Did you contact Rome
No, I called,
Call them because they have every single time they were not available. She came here and told us that.
yeah, that's who I'm talking to. They called me, the clearinghouse for Mercy Flight, and she said she's confirming it. She goes, to my knowledge or unknown.
Okay, to her knowledge, this is good enough. She's gotta say,
She's
here are
giving,
the records, ba-boom.
she's gonna give it to me
Mark,
letterhead.
Mark, know the reality. My son-in-law is a paramedic for Mercy Flight. I know both sides of the story very well.
Okay, so the dog bite, and you said there was another one?
There was
Some
one in
man got
Silver
hurt.
Beach one weekend and,
Some man you set up here.
well, the West Leyden, none of, because they were out in
West
Syracuse. They were out in Syracuse and there was weather front, they couldn't get through to get to that.
Right, but
But
that's
if
not
we'd
United
had,
County.
no, but if we'd had a copter here, they could've gotten to them, but.
Okay, do you know when these were? Is it this year, you said, right? Between
Yep.
January and,
No, between June and now. They also had a deal up in the town of Greg, an ATV accident where they both had a customer to Albany Medical.
you know, the sad thing is, Phil, like I said, the last 5 years of my career, when the state police also did transporters, they had us go to the paramedics to shut down the volunteer fire departments from calling for the helicopters, because people were getting transported for broken arms, broken legs, where they had no business getting transported. And do you know anything about the billing that LifeNet does? I sat out there on the ramp, I talked to their financial guy. I didn't.
Isn't that private insurance?
There was a lady here.
Without insurance.
Two meetings.
They said they made a law against LifeNet. It's what he told me. They were billing people $50,000 to $70,000. So I said to him, what if I'm 29 years old, walking down the road, no insurance, I drop dead?
It's sky high.
He's like, well, if you got no insurance and you only make that, we'll probably write it off. I go, how about if I'm 50? No insurance, I got a couple of kids I gotta pay college, yada yada. He's like, well, he goes, if you don't make us find you and you talk to us, then we won't go to court. We could probably negotiate for $250 or $300 a month for 6 years.
That's what I heard too.
They're under a new law now, it's just like any medical institution, you can pay $1 a month. Just like down to the hospital or anywhere else.
Yeah, but they are also the ones that sat there and told me they will go get a judgment if you don't talk to them. He said that on the ramp.
So if
I see people here
you know,
that,
we were ready
you
to
know,
have
wanna
a
add
chance
something and
They're
they're
not
not
in
allowed.
in his possession. And he can't get by state troopers, and that's what the attorney sending the accuser to pick him up to.
We just want to move to a nice small little town.
Is that necessary?
I don't,
No, moving it down here.
I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
See, that doesn't, personally, that doesn't bother me, I don't care.
I guess you understand. No, I come in, yeah.
I let,
And I'm not seeing.
when somebody makes it personal, it's hard to keep
Yeah.
it.
Well, it seems like everybody that's on the board or a committee here, or whatever you wanna call it, they're very defensive. You know, they shouldn't be defensive. There's no reason to be defensive unless you're doing something wrong. If you're not doing nothing wrong, then you should speak
Why
wrong
won't she let
and go about the
her
business
talk?
that you need to do.
There, like I said, there was a guy, he was raising his hand,
And that's
raising his
my
hand,
previous
he
fear.
told me, there was a lady that came twice, and
I mean,
I don't know.
I have on it and the lasers.
But I would like it to, I would like it to stop, so I can understand what's going on here and what my money's going for, you know? And so are you, you know? And I just wanna know. And I'm not getting anything.
no, we have 4 times,
Yeah.
and they all get ended, and this is crazy.
It's been a disaster, you
Yeah.
know, as far as I'm concerned.
And we think, oh, it was just that meeting, it'll get better. No, it doesn't, you know? We're adults,
There's other
this
things,
is
there's other
terrible.
things that I see that I have questions on that I don't like. I mean, I saw a copy of the audit that they got.
That's on the
We
state
were-
website.
I
Well,
was
we got
shocked.
that, and there's like $97,000.
The attorney's already contacted.
I did not see that.
Where is that? And who's accountable?
It will say on the
And he
side.
already contacted
Oh.
the police person.
Did you read it? I read it all of it.
From what I
Basically
read,
confiscated.
Very detailed,
what I
notes.
took is,
Bags.
I was shocked.
He takes out of the bags.
You haven't done any
the end, yes,
4
that's,
years.
I mean, that's,
Because she got delinquent notices and she didn't open the correspondence. That's not an answer.
You tell me how the board makes honest and reasonable decisions when they don't have hard numbers from the
The audit said they can't.
Yeah.
How would you?
This is unbelievable.
These are the things that
Mills.
send up red flags to me, you know?
And,
And I'm saying,
I don't-
what's going on?
no, it's obviously not good what the report found.
And I don't know who
He's like.
steps in to straighten it out.
Garrett goes.
Why can't they
They're
self-correct?
self-happy.
They're the ones that did it. How can they
Doesn't need a third
self-correct?
party to do that.
And you didn't-
Normally,
I mean, literally.
Come in and straighten that out.
Right now, there's raw sewage
I don't-
leaking from the
so,
upstairs apartment.
As
into
far
her
as I
apartment.
know, is that
And
the county and the
not
state
lying.
had
He was there
representatives
for
working
like
in
2
here
weeks
and they
before he
went
had this
through
episode when he came home.
what was
So
there.
he
Okay,
wanted
so what were the
to have him
results?
sign an affidavit, he no longer lives with us.
That was at the end of the report.
Okay, my grandson's like,
there's no accounting for
you know, I told
that
him,
money.
when he said, can I come home?
It doesn't
I
tell
said,
you where it
"Yes, you
went."
can, but first tell me, what's gonna change?
Where did it go?
Meaning, you're either
They
gonna.
tell you,
I took it as
Therapist,
one, like
and
the
psychiatrist,
end number
Or go to
is
this
correct.
inpatient program
How it,
in
what,
Saratoga.
I didn't see it that way. When I read
And,
it came up to me that there's
No,
like
it's just-
$87,000 on
Not, you
accounting
know,
for
it's
that.
just,
You can
You're not
see
supposed
like
to know
on one
anything up
side,
there.
on the.
Like you're supposed to
like,
just say,
you can talk to
okay.
people, they have the same
It's all confidential.
problem.
I don't get it.
Okay, I'm not gonna know.
No, sorry, no, I'm-
This is your thing.
I'm not an
So
accountant.
he.
No, I don't
No,
do
we're
that.
not either.
But am I?
I think because
Like, I just,
when he was
the
at
three of us
college,
can read this
never had anybody.
and this
He's
is,
got it,
the
and I
email
think
that
it's
he was, that
medication.
we're saying is, we're,
So I just, you know.
what we
I
thought was correct,
spoke
he's
to his
proven our
psychiatrist,
point.
Yeah.
he wouldn't speak back to me,
But
but.
you can
Did you
interpret
give her
it different than
permission?
I
Yeah.
can.
Right, that's why I'm
I just
saying,
said, I
who can we
think
get?
So they
My
hired a
first
new
reactions
accountant.
to this medication.
Yeah, we were here for that
The
guy.
new accountant came in and
He said,
to
no,
me,
side effects. These are,
he
you know, the
wouldn't
stomach
want to,
ache, the headache,
if there was money
the
missing,
behavior,
he
the
wouldn't,
Insomnia.
he
you
would
know,
disclose that
48 hours up and down.
right away
He said,
because he doesn't want to be
you know,
the
it's
one
just
saddled with
now.
it later on.
It's like,
Right off the bat, I read
you
this.
know,
Yep.
he
Now,
wants to
this,
know.
this town hall
I
has
cannot.
an internet, correct?
I can move
I
on.
assume so, I don't know.
It's not for you.
Who pays for the
You're in
internet?
catch 22. I think you're in the right path.
There is an internet, who pays
I
for it?
was a brand new truck.
Taxpayers,
Yeah,
isn't it?
right.
Yeah.
So why
Mental health law in
couldn't it be live streamed through the internet that the taxpayers are paying for?
and just push them
It
out.
could be, I don't know.
Right? Well, these are the questions that I had, that I didn't never get a chance to
But I
to
got,
put to
I mean,
anybody.
if I pull my phone out and I'm live streaming off my phone, I think somebody's gonna want a better quality than that.
You know, there's things you can do.
You know, so I mean, does the town have to hire a video person?
No, I don't think so.
New York State just keeps on doing it.
I mean, if nobody wanted to do it, yeah, I suppose that's what you have, but you still have people that will do it.
And here, your grandson.
He would do it, I'm sure.
My other stepson.
I don't know, but somehow.
My nephew.
And I would personally would like to attend every one of these meetings.
We're
Well,
trying.
then, no matter what they are, I would like to learn and listen, but if I can't make it and I can watch it on a live stream, which I don't even know how to do, but I could learn, I would do that,
My daughter.
but I don't have that
I
option.
didn't know.
And I don't know why I don't
She
have
never
that
really
option.
drank in front of me.
Yeah,
So it
I
wasn't,
think-
it wasn't a big deal.
obviously,
And,
as you get higher
my
up in the
grandson's
government level, the
Just
funds
turned
are
12
more,
at
you
his
know,
birthday party. She got.
the state senate can obviously afford to do
Okay,
that
he's got-
because,
he's
you know,
12
we got a lot more
friends.
money than,
So I'm staying over right now.
Yeah, but all they need,
Take care of the kids.
what little I do know is if you want a live stream, all he would need is internet access for his
Money,
camera.
lots of money, and it's a felony.
You don't have to supply the camera, he's got it already, so if he wanted to do it and live stream it, if he's got the code or whatever it is you put in there to
Personality.
I get it, I don't know what that is, but I know you can do it, because my son does it for me at his house.
They wouldn't
Yep.
combine the
I'll
two
take my
services.
phone, he'll set me up, and he'll say, well, you can do this if you want to.
Saying,
Okay,
the only
you
drug
know,
court
but he
in
puts
New
in
York
the
It doesn't
router
combine
number,
the two
the
together.
Yeah, those have never heard.
scanner, or whatever the hell it is, you know, and you can do it. So if the townspeople are paying for that, and it's available,
yeah, but that's,
why can't it be used?
See, at least you're willing to talk to us. Everybody leaves, you know, it's ended, we're leaving. That's not an answer to the constituents. Somehow, we have
You
to,
did the same thing. You got belligerent and you were gonna fold up and walk out.
yeah, but you
And I'm
did.
glad you did.
Right, you
Because you were
did.
gone, you know?
I don't mind talking,
Jeopardy is not a place to be.
yeah. You're, I mean,
Calls and
I'm letting personal,
and nobody will pay.
Yeah,
you can give me a
right,
tag
I
first.
understand, right.
Business is business, you know, and let's keep it business, you know, that's what it is. you
And
know?
it's boxing.
But these are the things that I ask that I don't see happening, and I see a real opposition.
And this town is
And
so
I'm saying,
divided
I
and it's
don't know,
heartbreaking.
I know they got internet here, because they're using computer, I know they gotta have it, everybody got it, you know?
And
Boxing is usually.
So you could probably solve a lot of this by that, you know?
I don't know.
And Mark is right about the disabilities act, if you have veterans around here that can't get down there in a
It's like
wheelchair,
she
or whatever,
sleeps till
don't
2,
they
3,
have the
4
right
o'clock in the
to
afternoon.
be available if they want it?
My grandson's.
And a lot of times, we
Yeah, I-
probably
I-
can't get here because of where we
Okay.
live, because of this snow.
Yeah, sometimes.
We can't get out of our
Right.
driveway.
On top of Buck Hill, so I mean,
And he just
sometimes
sits
they
there,
just,
and then I watch.
It's
him
ice, it's all ice.
You know, just.
But you know what I'm saying,
Just talk.
you know,
But I would like
mumble.
to watch
Okay,
it.
and those are, never did that.
But-
elderly people that can't get out, that kind of thing, they're paying,
He
you
was
know, I mean,
doing wonderful.
they have a
And
right
then I
to
noticed
to
But
watch
there's
it. They
gotta
want to.
be
Okay, and the psychiatrist.
But even like this guy, which I don't like,
Yeah.
well, I know
It was hard,
people,
but,
and they just
you
go
know,
home and
he
watch
is
TV.
displaying symptoms.
That's
Now
wrong.
after this
That's wrong.
medication,
You can make
he's like,
generalizations.
oh,
I mean,
Jesus.
it's,
That's totally wrong what he said, that's not right, that's not his job to tell me or
No
anybody
blood
else
work, no-
that you won't watch it, you'll watch
Nothing.
football.
So I gotta call his
You
primary.
know, that's a-
to
that's
get
a-
blood work done,
right,
if
but-
he'll do it,
so,
to make sure this medication's
when I-
not
but-
harming it.
Oh, yeah.
what is the responsibility of the other people that you don't go to other people
Because if they're not processed.
into their places of business and tell them that the town's gonna shut you down
That's
because
what
they're
he's
putting
doing.
in a
I'm not
He's
helicopter?
and he'll sell it, he's
That's what
telling
he
me,
does.
my brain
He
is
goes around and
this.
makes up these false stories,
And nobody will listen to them.
and then he'll never put it on the tape or anything.
Just throw meds at them.
Yeah,
You have to explain a
yeah,
little bit.
and that's why I
Okay,
said.
so,
go to
I don't,
Rowan's.
you know, did Jones's garage up here?
Completely.
Going on the left,
Yes.
going down, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I go see Travis
So,
when I need to.
yeah, Travis is renting the other
So
part of
he's,
the building.
Yeah.
Travis is up there now
They were
too.
supposed to call him back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is
Three
it?
days ago.
Oh, I
Well,
didn't.
he needed more space and he's got, you know, he still
Wow.
wants.
So these are things we don't know these
Yeah,
things.
we
We know these
don't
things.
know.
You're a busybody, you know all this stuff. No,
I had to deal with it
I
because
was just trying to
the
get it.
76-year-old gentleman
Now I gotta find
that
it.
rents the other half of the building
Because he left the
calls
neighbors.
up in a panic because somebody walked in and told him that they're tearing this building down to put a helicopter in.
They work together, the psychiatrist.
So he calls.
So now I gotta
Yeah,
get a new
this is what I deal
psychiatrist, and
with.
that could be.
So how do we resolve this? It has to get resolved
Well, then,
somehow.
Oh, really?
right, but I can't control what's on the internet.
Go online. And they can send
No,
it
but
to them to the computer.
If
But can they get
if this is
notices?
on the internet and everybody's at this board or a zoning meeting or whatever it
How do I
may be,
look at
it
that?
is what it is. If it's live streaming or thing,
No,
you
and I
can't tell me that
So she is.
this guy said this and this guy said that, when I got it right here. I can hear it, I can see it. I know what was said, I know what was seen.
Yeah.
So no matter what anybody says, I know what was said and done, because I saw it right here, in my own eyes, my own ears. You know, I don't have to listen to the guy down the road say, well, this one did this, and this one did that. I don't need to listen to that. I don't need to gossip. I can flat out see for myself.
Right, and that may be the answer. I don't have.
That's how I
That's what we're
see that
saying,
anyway. But if you wanna
somebody's gotta
end, if you wanna
be a
end
neutral
gossip, so to
person.
speak, if that's what you wanna call it,
Compromise, there's gotta be
that'd be the way to do
Take
it. I mean,
it
here it is, plain and simple,
I mean,
lie,
And
So
then,
Pete, do you want to
whatever.
compromise? Oh,
you
absolutely.
know, and I
Something,
And you would know-
something's
Would you like to
gotta
compromise?
be done.
that this would be what really happened.
Would you like to compromise?
Where I could actually.
I would actually like you to
take
go
them
on
down.
camera and actually
So
admit
it's gonna take
the
them
stuff
out.
that you said was wrong.
You know,
So you don't want to
I can get
compromise?
them.
And they all end, and it's not getting any better, and somehow
Our campaign ads.
it's gotta change,
And,
somehow.
And like I said.
And like I said, I'm glad you're talking to us,
Yeah, at
and
least somebody's
what, all the rest of them left.
you know?
Rita Gamel left, she left.
That's what we need, we need everybody, you know, that's what you did what you did.
Yes,
Shake your hand right
yes,
now.
thank
You're a man.
you, seriously, thank
Seriously,
you.
you know, you were gonna do that,
Whatever.
and I'm really glad you
We can
didn't,
find out from.
because it's not gonna help any
every single
situation whatsoever that's going on.
No.
And the more that happens, the more suspicious I get of what's
She's
happening.
good people, she helped me.
And I don't need that, you don't need that, he doesn't need, nobody here in this town needs that. You know, I don't wanna go home wondering who's doing what. You know, I wanna know who's doing what, without any question.
We go home and say,
You know,
this is
simply honest.
ridiculous, we learn nothing, we're trying to participate, and it's
Then,
getting
you know,
worse.
then it gets to the point where you're like, you know, do I believe this guy, do I believe that guy, do I believe this guy? Who's telling me the truth?
You're right, then
You
I.
know?
Well, I don't.
Because we don't
That's the
know.
other thing I was gonna ask you.
I just
I mean, it's,
Which I'm not saying anybody's lying, I'm not saying anybody's not telling, I'm saying you're confusing me, which causes a problem.
Like you said, we could have 3 different versions of this, so who can we get
Somebody's gonna say, do this, this.
and all this?
And he's gonna be.
No, I
Neutral,
think it's
or
gotta
whatever
be
you do.
just what you're doing right
You
now,
got
it's gotta be a
upset.
reasonable
But they won't
conversation.
do it, they all
Not necessarily a
So it
debate,
goes
but
outside,
a reasonable
he's got- he's
conversation with
trying,
intelligent
he's
people,
metal,
and people that are paying money to this town have questions, and if they don't understand it, which is a lot of times the case, even for me, I need somebody to explain it to me. And if it makes sense, okay, if it doesn't make sense, I'm gonna question it. And I'm gonna call you, and I'm not gonna walk in and say,
We
okay,
don't
whatever you say,
understand.
you know?
Okay, I said, I will not provide transportation.
And that's where you're running into a
I will
problem,
not
you know?
No.
Just because Pete tells me
Okay, so
something
then
doesn't mean I have to
this
accept
caseworker
it.
comes in and says,
You know what I mean?
those
You gotta
two
show
they should
me.
be
I
held.
wouldn't want you to.
Right, exactly, that's my point, you know? And that's the point that this whole board and stuff has to make, that we're here to help
It's not
you.
the right
We're not here to hide anything from
Something
you,
we-
we're not here to take your money and do what we want with it. We wanna help you and help you understand
And
the
you're the
process.
board, so you're the people we're supposed to be
It's not
asking,
mine.
and
He's supposed to be getting money from this.
it's like,
If I didn't
they're
know something
offended
about
because we
zoning,
ask a question.
would I come to you and ask you?
All of a sudden, I get all this paperwork.
Right.
Whatever,
And I'm
okay, so
filling out.
I wanna build something.
Got to do with him
So
getting.
let's say I wanna build a garage.
Get my mom, get from his mom.
So this is what I'm saying, so when would I come to you? So what exactly would I come to you?
So you wouldn't come
Took him for a
into
physical.
the planning
He's gonna have a
board
hip
unless your
replacement.
project was in like a land conservation
No,
district?
Or 30.
Or
And,
you were doing, okay, so you
All
have
these documents.
acreage.
No.
So if you came
The psychiatrist knows the
and
psychologist.
after
You know,
the
I-
third
yeah,
time that you've divided
should
off
know.
your
That he was in
existing
Omaha,
parcel,
which they
then
did.
you would come in
And they
front of the
said,
planning
we-
board if you
Rome never
wanted to
responded,
divide
never
that
gave us
anymore.
papers.
So you're saying if I subdivided my
Now I gotta
property in
get insurance.
3 parts,
More than 3.
more than 3? Well, I already did 3, and I wanna do a 4th subdivision,
Then you come in.
then I would come in front of you.
Yes.
Okay, this is what we're trying to learn, you know, we're not familiar with it, and, you know, and like I say, these people gotta be reasonable and talk to you and not do this kind of stuff like this zoning did. You know, that's not right, that's just wrong. That's a bully tactic that's not gonna work, especially on somebody like me, because I won't go away.
Right.
You won't run me off. You know, the more you do that to me, the hardcore I'm
And
gonna
it's like,
get.
we're more
I
suspicious,
have no
what
reason to
is
do that.
wrong,
Why?
there's something wrong.
Don't make me do it, you know?
Is what is wrong? There's something
Yeah.
wrong.
I mean, that's what raises
I
suspicion
can't
when people do
But
that,
I
you know?
got, just got it today.
You have to make me understand and show me, and, okay, you know, and I may have questions
So I
that maybe
just
you didn't
said-
think of,
I
so
said,
you're,
okay.
you know, you're right,
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
you know?
Because I.
So let's look at
They're
that.
gonna know what, I don't know.
Because they don't charge.
But I'm not seeing that
Remember,
happening.
like tomorrow night, we're gonna come tomorrow night. She's gonna be mad because we're showing up, but we're trying to
And this thing,
learn
with
something.
the question that I had that I can't ask anybody because
When he was a
they
minor.
take off, is
Because
like when she, it seems like every time she doesn't like what's happening, she goes
Yeah,
into an
he's-
executive
yeah,
meeting, which
mental
everybody
health,
leaves.
He can't work. Okay, do they know?
What is that?
Did he whip the one
And then
out?
she comes out and
Then they come back and
and
meeting's
that's
over.
it. And it's like,
And I'm sitting there
oh,
going, what the hell was that? You know?
and like I said, I know a lady came here 2 meetings and she
Are
had
there,
paper.
are there rules where you can't do that every time you just don't like what's going on?
That's the sad thing.
No, so the executive session, and I'm only gonna speak
Yeah, I
to,
won't hold you.
no, to speak to the incident that was the other day.
I've got his number.
So the contract for the highway department employees
Right,
is being negotiated.
right.
That is
And they're
something,
union, my understanding is they're union.
yes,
Okay.
and that is something that cannot be disclosed in a
Right,
public
that's
session.
that's union.
So why wouldn't she take any comments or questions from the people, one guy in business and the other lady I know had questions and she won't even acknowledge it. Now why?
So I can only speak to the planning board. If we are having like a regular meeting,
And if you would just do that.
we do not
Wait a
have.
minute, now, I don't like what you just said. You said you're gonna seek an appointment. Why? You're a
No, 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 no,
constituent of
no,
this town as
no,
well as I
no,
am.
you missed, no, I think you misheard.
Okay.
I said, I can only speak to the planning board
How
side,
you run it.
because,
Okay.
that's, yeah, I don't know how it works.
So
So
I'm like, okay.
when we have a regular meeting, we are not obligated to open up any questions to the public. But if we were having a public hearing, meaning that we had
And everybody's talking
an
and I'm trying
action
to listen.
before us for a subdivision,
And take notes.
or
Okay.
some sort of action like that,
Someone made a motion,
we have
someone
to open
seconded
up
it.
to
Who is it,
public.
and if I can see
So I
who did
don't
it,
know.
I can make
But I
a
could have swore, I read the agenda before we left and it said public comments or whatever,
Yes, no.
and it was all changed when I went home and looked
Every
at it.
time we come.
Well, so.
She even said she was changing it, and it's like people plan to be here, they read the
So that-
agenda, and that's not right.
You know, the thing is, from what I understand, she adjourned the meeting last Monday. And it's gonna be to re-adjourn on Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
Right, and she's gonna open the meeting, she's going into executive session, cause she's doing interviews, and then she's coming out, and it's probably gonna end.
So what did you get out of it at that point? As just sitting, what did you get out of it?
Nothing that,
You
again,
know what I'm saying?
It's a continuation.
It's not like it's got a bright light on it.
I don't know,
I don't know.
it's sad,
It doesn't seem correct,
no.
I didn't even notice that.
you know, not
To be
for
honest
people
with
that
you,
are trying to
because
understand
A
what's going on.
small town and it's sad,
You know. Yeah, it's not working well.
no,
It's just, you don't know.
I don't know, but thank you,
Well, thanks for
yeah, thank you for
I'd rather-
talking
your
to
time
me.
and
But you
And,
know, yeah,
your whole other board walked out, you're the only one that would talk,
well, give you credit for that.
yes,
Planning board and zoning.
That's
Thank
what
you.
it should be.
yep.
Zoning board is.
Okay, yeah, we're trying to learn something.
More,
well, and it's a two-way street.
Right.
yeah,
But
definitely.
that's, I mean, I'm bound
But if
by,
you don't can't have conversations, it's never gonna
Well, I
change.
hope you talk to us, you and a little bit too.
but I,
You know?
Right.
I'm making the assumption you guys would be
I was just gonna say,
reasonable.
you can
If
walk
I
in.
mean, I'm bound by
Why not?
the, I don't know, it's not a statute, whatever they wanna call it, that, you know, cameras can't go beyond that post. That's what I was told.
That I don't know. I mean, according to this, I mean, if you read it,
They're even
it
small.
doesn't.
Like you said, you get 3 different versions, so somebody has to
It's
straighten it all out.
is that a disruption?
Right, of this.
I don't think it was, but, you know.
Was it
Well, don't you think,
was
don't you
it
think
above and
if we
beyond me to
had
ask him to move 3 feet back?
those posts wouldn't even need to come. Bingo.
That's all, that's where I'm coming from.
That's what I keep trying to
I
say.
think it's a point issue on both sides, you know, he's saying,
I'm willing to
he's
do
saying I can put it there because the law says I can, you're saying, you know, we got rules and we wanna move it 3
Yeah,
feet back.
so,
So all this is over, you know,
yeah, so
36
there's
inches
gotta be,
space.
But, I mean, you
and the
have,
whole town is paying the price for it.
but you have a job, and in that job, your boss has a criteria. You may not
That's a
agree
little
with it.
different though, because as a job, as a business owner, you're a dictator. You're no longer,
Yeah, but I'm,
you're no longer
but
doing
I'm,
it.
but I'm bound by what the town board says. I can't, you know, would you want me to go rogue and,
I mean, it sounds bad when they say that, but that's the truth. You know, if you own a company, you own a farm, right? So whatever you want, if you got a worker for you, you want the worker to do this, he's gonna do it because that's what you want. You're gonna dictate that work to them. So in that sense, you become a dictator.
But
But
obviously,
it's not in a public forum, you know, that's.
this is being interpreted different ways by all of us, so how can we,
so I gave, so we're allowed one camera per person. I'm allowing him, you can find it. If he
Now, see, where'd you get that from? Where did that
That's
come
what that's what the thing that we passed in the town.
from? Okay, that's in a written form
yeah,
of
but
some
the
kind?
open meetings law
They don't like anybody telling them they gotta conform.
doesn't say that. Is that correct?
I've been called.
It says we have to make reasonable accommodations for the person
The
who
radio
wants to
station
film.
there and get you down there and.
So reasonable accommodations made would be
No, it's
No.
probably look
the
good.
internet,
It's
somebody
got,
can live stream this thing. and
Very
that is-
political.
See, but
I've actually been on there a couple times.
That would be
not me
reasonable.
personally, but I would say other people would have, a lot of people would have a lot of trouble with him.
And
controlling it.
if they can get
They
him
would
in
want a
there.
third party.
You in there, not talking to the town, talking to an attorney,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that.
and get
I don't
to
do social media
Mr.
stuff.
Walter's opinion.
I don't know what that's all about. Well, hopefully, I mean,
They'll ask, they'll ask.
Yeah, but I don't know how
Less
is that gonna happen.
The media.
Do you see any give on that side?
She's not even a politician, she's an interference or whatever.
not yet.
Okay, well, we've had a productive
But
conversation.
you talk to him as well as you talk to me. You know,
But
you know, I don't know, so I don't know the history between you guys, what's really going on there. But it seems to me like it could be settled fairly
Well,
easily.
some,
And people could, like us, could come and learn and understand what's going on in this town and what
You know,
we're
don't
putting our
start,
money
you know,
into,
it's like,
you know?
probably, a lot of them.
And part of that, what prompted us to do this too was the taxes, you know?
well, to
Because
be
now-
honest, the
now-
first thing we said, we're moving out of here. We
That's
are
the first thing I was
moving
angry.
out.
I was angry.
Oh,
I was mad because they.
and we said, we thought
I'm
we moved to a
65
nice
years
little
old. I've
town.
never seen anybody jack the thing to 100%. Okay? Never have I seen that, okay? And the first comment I got from somebody, well, you have now.
Seriously.
And
You
it's
know,
like,
already, now that angers me, you know? But now, the problem is, in order for me, because I missed the grievance, because I didn't pay attention, I wasn't
no,
involved in
no,
this.
that's not why. We got that estimate, and we went by the estimate, and we said, yeah, our taxes are going up, so, yeah, we gotta go up another, but it was nowhere near that. And it's
But
like,
the problem is, now that we didn't do it because of that, which, you know, that's part of ignorance on our fault for not getting involved here earlier and understand what's going on. But now in order for me to do anything about it, I gotta go out and spend $500-600 to have a reassessment, a private reassessment. Then I gotta bring it to
appraisal.
the guy here, your assessor. If he doesn't give me satisfaction, now I gotta go to your grievance board. If they don't give me satisfaction, I gotta go to small claims court. But you're gonna cost me another $500-600 for something, because I don't even know if it's right or not. You know what I mean? I don't know if they overassessed me or not, maybe they didn't, but how do I know? You know?
$2,900 just tax.
More.
Not even the tax tax.
And the guy next to me has
And we're
very
very
similar.
assessed at $1 million? I don't believe that at all. No.
So now,
Well,
now,
no, it's all
when
brand
I hear
new
that,
back.
the first thing I think of, okay, you're giving this guy a break and you're taking it from me. You're making it up on my butt,
So-
you know, is what, the first thing that comes to my mind. Now, you wouldn't think any different, you know, and that's what I'm feeling, you know?
And like
But now,
Larry
like I said,
said,
I gotta go spend $500-600 maybe to have a private assessment done.
Ecology creep.
Because to be honest with you, I don't have much faith in the guy you got, because he doesn't even live in this town, so he's got nothing in the hat here.
Yeah, it doesn't affect
You know,
him.
he lives on Holland Patton, wherever, he don't care what happens here.
I don't care.
You know, I don't know what he uses the money for, or what, I don't
Yeah,
care.
you could,
But he's not in the game, as far as I'm concerned.
but you could,
You know?
I can only speak of what I said and what I did publicly, is I was not in favor of it. I went on TV,
Whoever.
WKTV.
Yeah, we saw you on
I
TV.
went on,
Yeah, we saw it.
you know, I went on radio. I don't believe, it's,
It was real bad for this
Yeah.
town, real. And I have another question.
I blame the company,
I have a question. People are getting taxed 100%,
yes.
and taxes went up.
Oh, yeah.
Why would anybody wanna move here? When you can move around here, why would you wanna move to Westonville, is my question. That's like I told Sean. I said, who's gonna wanna move here?
If I had any
They did
choice
that.
right now, I wouldn't.
No, no,
And our first thing
I'm
was,
gonna have to
we're
go spend
moving.
$250,000-$300,000. Am I gonna spend it here? No.
Right,
Okay, first
That
we have a
hurt
policy.
bad.
We're
That
gonna-
doesn't help your town?
no.
Policy.
Right.
no,
That's
It
exactly
doesn't say
right.
how many.
like,
But you agree.
Now
To
it's
vote
a
on
policy
it?
where.
See, we know nothing about that either.
no, we were,
Okay.
No, it's not.
See, we don't know.
no, the town, you voted,
We got the mailing stuff and all that kind of stuff, and like I said, we got the estimate, what our taxes would go up, and we said, well, that's bad enough, but we'll pay it, yeah, it's worth more, but
Put the
boy,
bet at that. you know,
yeah,
which
we
is-
learned the hard way.
it's,
But had we been involved earlier in doing what we're trying to do now, maybe we could have done something about it then.
I almost wanna go back on the radio and tell
Why don't we rent those?
other towns that may be in the area that
And get-
are using this company, but I, see,
And
the
have-
problem
He tried to get a hold of that people, no response whatsoever, no response.
but I think,
That's what I said.
And then he called our town assessor, right from here, we were here,
He was supposed to be here, as a matter of fact.
no, the next night he was
Oh, the
supposed
next
to
night
be
he was
here.
supposed to be here.
No, I'm not gonna be there. He was worried
I
about
wanted to
eating
talk to him.
supper.
No,
He
he's
told
not
him, he told him
I
to
got
call
the email.
the,
Okay.
the school,
I sent him an email and said, let's have a meeting.
what,
For the new people coming.
tax lady,
Right.
whoever
He
called.
said that,
She's got nothing to do with that. She was shocked. He called her.
I mean,
Discuss whether we
half a
should
dozen
meet.
calls.
She
got
was
the line
shocked.
around and
Email
got
back to them
nowhere
was,
with it, you
no,
know?
there should
But
be
this guy's supposed,
whether
he's getting
we
paid to do
should.
a job.
So let's discuss.
Now, if I'm paying you to do a job and you don't do the job, I'm gonna fire you.
Cause Sean says, can I talk to
And
you tomorrow night?
and
He
the
says,
day
oh,
that I
I'm not
came
gonna be
here,
there.
Mary, who was alive at the time, she wasn't here.
That other
Another lady here, she told us flat out, I don't want to know anything.
I'm pulling the.
And I'm saying-
house.
So he
Okay,
says, let
so
me
you
call
don't-
the
you don't
town
worry about that,
assessor. So
so I
right
called
from
the
here,
town
he
assessor.
called, and he said, he was eating
You eat
supper.
supper,
Oh my God.
and I said, okay, we were supposed to be here tomorrow. I let you know, I'm not gonna be there
I
tomorrow.
just got an email.
Well, what are we paying this
We'd
guy?
like to.
And then he tried to call Gar,
For you.
and then he called Zerko's office, then he called other offices, and
If I don't go to work, I don't get paid.
Coffee, whatever.
This guy doesn't go to work, he gets paid.
Larry.
You know, I mean,
that hurt this town
you know,
bad.
those are the kind of things that people like me see and wanna know why.
They
you
decided
know?
to go on their own, they didn't want,
I
you
think,
know.
If you've got a farm worker working for you and you tell him, milk that cow, you gotta milk that cow, what's gonna happen to him?
You know, it's fine.
Well, the cow's got more tonnage, you're fired,
And
you
they don't
know? You know,
and I'm trying to think how
Okay,
to say it where it's
here,
making
there was
sense.
something.
Right.
No, there was nothing planned, but.
So I've been on the planning board 20 years.
Okay.
Okay. Our, you know, we have subdivisions, so it's basically somebody has a bigger lot and they wanna divide it into a couple pieces and that's it there, you know? Now, if you were to take and move me to the city of Rome tomorrow,
During it.
I would be overwhelmed, because, you know, now you're dealing with a Starbucks, you're dealing with a medical, you know? So I think what happened is, you know,
Was the door open?
that we hadn't had a reassessment in so long,
It was like,
that
what night was that? When you
this
was going
company
over my shoulder? Was that
sweet
the
talked
night
them
you
in, oh,
showed
it's
up?
an easy thing, we'll take care of everything, we'll do everything for you.
Who made the finances?
Wasn't that the second?
you say sweet talk, who did they sweet talk?
Well, the board
Did
redid it.
The whole board.
So you have 4 people.
We don't even know who.
You got 5 people, you have,
This guy was telling
is the secretary on the board?
No,
Okay, so you got the town clerk, she's
no, she's not on the board.
not on
That's
the
a secretary,
board. Okay,
right?
you got
Town
the
clerk and
the
secretary.
supervisor,
Yes, and 4 councilmen.
and 4 councilmen.
Yes,
Okay, so you got 5 people that are actually make up the board.
yes.
Okay. And they're the ones that made that decision to hire these people.
Well, through the recommendation of Steve Hunter is from what I,
Okay.
but I wasn't at those meetings, so
And
I
again,
don't
you know,
know.
this.
Who made the decision to raise it from 48% to 100%? That was a really bad decision.
Well, that's, so the state wants everybody at 100%. So you can't, legally, I don't know if you can,
Well, he's not at 100%.
I don't know anybody
but
is.
if they went through a reevaluation, they would have to go to 100.
They
You
did.
can't.
They went through a reevaluation not long ago, and they're not at 100%.
We did?
Not that I know
Or
of.
not, we made Ava, was it
I
Ava?
don't know.
One of them
I
did,
thought Ava.
and that's not 100%, it's like 70.
I don't know of anybody 100%.
Well, you won't, you have to do it every year because markets change.
So they would have to reassess every year, and
See, like
so
City
they got
of
up to
Rome,
100%.
the City of Rome is constantly reassessing because they.
So if you didn't, if you're not at where you should be, that means for the last 30 years, it's been neglected. So it's neglect on the town's
Yeah.
part to do that, is that not correct?
Ask constituents.
Well, if,
It's negligence.
I understand,
If you get to the point where you gotta go from 40 to 100, somebody's been negligent on doing what they needed
Yeah,
to do.
they had at least did gradually and then got up to,
They could have been sure if they wanted to.
40 to 100.
that I
I
don't,
don't know, I'm sure they probably could.
I think the company stated that you couldn't do that. Now, whether or not that
I
was.
don't trust that company.
Well, that's,
They don't return phone calls, they
Yeah.
don't,
They got their money
they didn't wanna know
back.
nothing.
No, they don't.
Right.
They got their money in, that was it. That's another thing. How come this guy Steve, who's the town assessor, why wasn't he watching what they were doing? You're paying them money, no, I'm just talking, I'm not blaming you for nothing. But I mean, that's like you building a building, you're gonna build a new barn out there, you're gonna spend 300 grand to build a barn, and you're just gonna tell the guys, yeah, go do whatever you want. You're gonna watch him like a hawk.
right.
You know, why wasn't that? You know, why no hit list, no checklist? No, did you do this? No, you need to do that. You don't get a check until you do this. Did you do this? No, well, you don't get a check when you do this. You know, they just set them free and they did whatever they wanted, which is wrong, you know?
Yeah.
We don't have those things.
They should have been watched. Somebody should have overseen what they're doing, you know?
Oh, yeah, through her.
And they didn't do it,
Okay, who
which,
do you want?
that makes me angry, but nobody kept an eye on these people,
Everybody,
you
I was
know?
gonna email them.
And like I said, that guy's got no skin in the game. He don't even live here,
Nah,
you know?
he,
I'm not saying he's a bad guy, I'm just saying he ain't got no skin in the game here. You know, and if you disagree with me on that, I could, you know?
And
No, I-
why to go to Democrats, but I would.
I'm on your side of that. I didn't think it was, I
I
mean,
had
it
their
was,
address.
But these are all things that, you know, we've encountered since we've been down here, so we're pretty
well,
frustrated
that's
at
how
this
Senate
point.
goes, that hurt
What
the town really bad, really
I
bad.
figured
And
it's a lot cheaper to do.
what would the people do that just don't have the money?
23 cents.
You know what I mean? I'm not asking you to answer that question, I'm just making a statement. What if you're an old lady and you got $2,000 in your pocket, and they just jacked your taxes up to $4 grand more? What's she gonna do? You know? I mean, this is, to me, that's the town's responsibility, and this board and whoever else is involved in this, to understand that.
200 or 300.
Not just tough,
Forever stamps.
you know, that's not,
But the
taking
forever
care of the
stamps,
people of the town,
postage, the
you know?
value is a little.
that's the first thing I would be thinking
Then
of. What's this gonna
what it is
do
right now.
to people that don't
I
have
would
the
do it.
money? You know, if you're fortunate enough to have the money, you can pay it, and you can do what I'm gonna do, you're gonna go back, you get reassessed, you're gonna blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I got
You know,
rolls and
but if you don't have it,
Oh, okay.
You know,
you know,
that's the
Jerry
first
does
thing we said.
what happened, you know, you could do the same thing and have, you know, for everybody, you know? Just keep your tongue tied. You know, you stress out the
And another, kids, how many kids afford to live in the
more
town?
children and take over from their parents.
Lived here their whole life.
It's too late now, you know, that, but I'm just saying, those are the things that need to be thought about, a little bit
It's
of,
like,
Okay,
human Christianity involved in, with what you're doing, you know? If that's okay to say.
I agree with designing.
I'm gonna say it anyways,
no, no,
but you know,
yeah,
so we gotta get it,
it's sad,
I gotta
that's
get
what I
it.
can say, it's heartbreaking to me.
but this girl, this just needs
It has
cooperation
been.
and
There's gotta be.
consistency.
Yes,
I
there is.
agree, I agree. You can't have,
Right,
you
so
can't have it all one way.
how can we,
People we don't want.
I don't know. There's gotta be compromise on both sides.
No, there is no on the other side. I'm willing.
Well,
But the rest of them aren't, they walked out, you are,
I think
they
like
walked
posting the
out.
sign, you know, I don't like that, you know what I mean?
We're
It's
adults.
it's like a no trespassing sign, you know what I mean? Come on,
It's like we're with children.
it's like, almost like, you know,
Okay.
intentionally trying to violate you, you know what I mean? That's the way I see it, you know? May not be the intention, but that's
It's
how I
not
feel,
necessary.
you know? You walk in, it's like, wow, you know, you can't do this, you know, there's a stamp there, you know? and ease up, you know, I
I
mean,
think
crying out
we need
loud,
to have a
you know?
secretary.
We all live here, we all gotta get along, we all should get
I'm
along,
not positive.
you know, and that's not the way to do it, you know, in my
But they do
And
opinion.
it's getting worse.
You may think different, I don't know.
Public can't see, we're hearing more.
I thought there was 5 reasons.
You're getting,
No, you got little kids, you look at
crying and everything.
well, it's listening, so not tough. Your whole team left, so it's you. You got little kids, you want them to grow up happy in this town? This town's a mess. It's a mess.
And I'm not saying,
You still got, you got 3
whatever they're doing here, the board, whatever, it's not a job I would wanna do. So, the
We can't do
appreciation
it.
for
We don't
somebody
know
that
how to
does the
do it.
job, I understand that, and I do.
Okay.
But I want it done
basically
right, I want it done
He's gonna-
honestly, and I want it done
We're gonna
openly.
do this.
And if you can't do that, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
Then something's not right. Either you got the wrong people in the position, or something else is wrong. But something's wrong if that can't be done, you know? I don't know if you disagree with me on that or not, but.
No,
Like now, I'm all stressed out, I'm heartbroken,
Yeah.
this happened again,
It's their default.
and somehow it's gotta stop.
It's not
Who was the, whatever,
But what you just talk about childish, and I lost my temper, or lost my cool. But when I ask him to move the camera, he just sits there and doesn't react. I mean, at what point does the citizen have some responsibility?
well, because he believes that's right. He believes that's true.
And you believe in what you
And it may
believe in,
be.
so somewhere.
You say it's not
gotta
right, he
get
thinks it is right.
Resolved,
Who would you get as a third interim to
to
say,
resolve this.
you know, you're not right and you're not right. This is what it is. And you're not getting that. You
would that
got your
be?
interpretation and you're right, and he's got his and he's right. So where do you go from
You're still
there?
here?
Nowhere.
Right, and you can't keep going like this,
So legally, you know, what is the law?
because you got
You know?
absolutely nothing done for it.
They did make a motion.
No, we had some stuff to do, not nothing.
That's too bad. I mean, we didn't plan on that.
So I gotta go on
Seeing
tonight
that
and see
happen.
if they actually put.
I don't know.
But somebody's
They put the thing in the paper.
either
Thing in the paper.
wrong and somebody's right, or both parties are wrong and both parties are right. You know, it's mixed in
Somebody,
there
somehow it's
somehow.
gotta get resolved,
It was
But-
on there that they're
so
accepting.
we can continue.
Oh, well, I
But
got
you
it.
get-
It also has to be in the newspaper. So
let me
I
ask you
checked
this
the
question.
newspaper to see if it was in there, and then tomorrow.
Would it have been that bad for him to move back 3 feet when we had the
Okay,
meeting?
this is the meeting.
I don't think so. I don't think it would have been the end of the world.
Then we're gonna interview the people.
But I
I
think,
guess, so what I'm saying,
I can't tell you what's, I can't tell you what's in his mind. I can't tell you
Well,
what
like you
he's
said,
thinking.
he believes in what's.
Right, so I mean, he's,
And you're interpreting it different.
what I can
So
see,
you think you're
That's not
right.
right.
At the bar.
Just, I'm only going by what the town board is telling me. That's what I have to go off
They
of.
get to hear it.
Okay.
So why
I don't-
can't I hear?
What is the town board
this guy's
right?
Or girl.
Now,
that's
So
part
my,
of
so
the
my,
problem.
so my
It's
options,
ridiculous. Yeah,
I
if
can-
they're required to do.
if I don't agree with the town board is doing,
There are things that
I
make.
could resign.
Hey, this
Hey,
is your
you know
straw.
I could resign, but I can't, you know, would we want a system where I get to determine?
we don't want that. What we want is them, if the town board is wrong, we want them to make it right. We don't want you to resign because they're wrong. That makes no
What time is
sense.
that?
Right, that, but,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
if you flip it around, I can't have my own rules.
Correct.
Right,
So
right.
I'm only going by the rules that are there.
Right.
When somebody does it just blatantly,
Okay.
But we're in a meeting and Mary said to the lawyer, she wanted no cameras. She didn't want these cameras in here. She didn't want
She
the
wanted a
cam-
law saying.
Yeah, a law.
Couldn't have it.
And the lawyer said,
Flat out said it, I want a law.
they can have cameras.
She
And she said,
called
oh no, I
Albany.
called Albany and they told me
can't
no
have 'em.
cameras.
So that was
And the lawyer
totally wrong.
said, yes, they can. So-
Take any position, okay? And then.
I don't know.
Who was in a position, and then all of a sudden.
But I think
But
it
it's
can-
gotta get
I think it
resolved.
can all be resolved if,
And then.
but you can't have this
then I
kind of
had-
stuff. You can't have like Phil
no,
Bauer and
I
that
gave it
stuff.
to him,
No.
because it's the pettiness that he
Like
wants.
you said, he swore last night. He said, Mark, the cameras are bullshit. Right in front of your mother, in front of Carol, and he reprimanded him. And he says, I don't have to listen to what you say. And Sean says, oh, yes, you do. I mean, that was terrible
You're
behavior.
talking
I was
about
shocked.
Women's honor. Your mother was.
Your mother was right
I
there.
don't put up with that, I don't care
That's
where I am,
wrong.
who it is. I won't put up with it. And he had no right to do that, and he shouldn't do it, and that kind of behavior does not need to be on a board. Bellering at me or anybody else about, blah, 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 blah. You got some clown like that, you don't need him. Simple as that.
Yep,
You need somebody that's intelligent, that can talk, just as you're doing now.
Right.
That's what you need. And if you're not getting it, you're gonna have these kind of problems, because
Am I supposed to? was
being
I-
a good guy
Oh, I-
and doing your job is not
I
enough.
See, I didn't get that.
no, but
Maybe
you
I-
gotta take the
maybe
human
it's- I
aspect
don't
of it.
know.
Yeah, but if you take a job and a guy does a great job, but he's a jerk in the process to everybody
No,
else,
did you let
that's
us
not
swear in
enough,
front of
you'll
your
fire
mother?
that guy.
No, I'm
I
not.
sure hope you wouldn't. Because he reprimanded him. I hope you wouldn't.
It's hard to have the thick skin, because he was called a puppy dog. So he's, his daughter's shown that to him, and it's hard to.
Then
But he's
he's not
female.
man enough to have the job. He's not man enough to do it. You
Yeah,
gotta
but
be,
to me, it's-
you gotta be a bigger man. And if
But you
can't
gotta
do that-
handle it differently, not like that.
But it's
Okay,
cowardly
so-
when you go home and post it,
We will
and when
help
you come to the meeting, you go sign
I will
it.
help you with the campaign.
That's the way it is today.
Right.
People do, they say whatever they want. You can't-
Keyboard, what do they call them, keyboard cowboys?
You can't,
Keyboard
you can't get away
warriors
from
or
that.
something, I don't know.
You can't
I
go
hate the whole thing, but
But you can't get away. I mean, it doesn't matter. If they said it face to face, there's nothing you can do.
when he's
Unless you're
coming
gonna
here
slug him, then
representing
you're
the
gonna
town,
get
and you can't act like that. Shouldn't act like that, I should say.
If I worked for a company and I went into somebody's home and I was swearing or whatever, I'm representing that company. It's gonna look bad for
I was
you,
shocked,
you know?
totally shocked.
And that makes everybody here look bad, you know? The behavior is contagious too, you know? I mean, like I said, I'm really glad you did what you did. I'm glad you were man enough to stop.
Right, you're man enough to talk
it's
to
not-
us. They're not.
Right, it's not saying like the truth or what, I mean, it's all our perceptions.
Whether you and I agree or not on anything, there's no reason that you gotta hate me or I gotta hate you. You know, just because we disagree.
Right.
That's okay. It's all right to
But it's
disagree.
being a
But you can do
man
it
discussing that.
respectfully, and not, I'll be a jerk, You're not a jerk if you disagree. You just disagree with what I agree to,
If somebody agreed with me 100% of the time, I would think they were insane. Because we're all
Well,
different,
correct.
we're all different, we're
Well,
all
how do
different
you, if you,
individuals.
But it's respect.
you don't get anything done if you do that either. You don't get anything. You just stay in the same place.
Just like
You
these
stay
4
neutral.
meetings we went to, we got nowhere.
But
More aggravated.
No.
And what do I say? We're moving. That's how, it's terrible. I say, this is ridiculous. Why do we want to live in this
Well, the
town?
first thing that comes to your
But
mind
just
is,
think about it, every town has,
And when I said to Sean, I said, when we first moved here, it was a nice little town. Now we got a smoke shop. What is town of Western got? The smoke shop. We don't even have a nice little store like we used to have.
that's a personal thing, we don't like that.
No, yes, that's personal.
We don't like seeing it.
I like my little store. I enjoy
It
going to my
relates to
store.
dope and that
We
kind
don't
of
even
thing.
have a store.
We don't like that, I mean, if anybody came to my house and wanted to smoke pot, I'd throw them out.
We like a nice
You're not
little
gonna do
town.
it.
A
You're not
little
gonna
town
do
has a
it.
nice little store that
I
you can go
can't
to.
stop you from doing it, maybe it's legal, but you're not gonna do it here, that's, you know,
I say
those
we
kind
go
of
for that.
things,
We
you
gotta
know,
make up a
do
flyer.
get to you.
Yeah.
you know.
We've gotta tell the constituents.
But
It's
that's-
not what it
Have
was
the-
when we moved here.
No.
And it's
Private
like,
reason.
what the heck,
Okay,
you know?
and ask them what's
Changed
changed.
dramatically.
Yeah, yes.
And then all this stuff about the park, you know, it's either private or public. If it's public, you can't stop anybody from doing anything as long as it's legal. And you can't say, you know, I'm gonna donate this park, but you can only do what I tell you.
So wouldn't you have
can't
to
do
keep
that,
it private?
You know? But if
You
you,
know,
if
if
it was
you wanna
private, you could make
restrict
your own
what's
rules. you know?
happening,
What if, it might sound kind of bad, but what if, a big gay pride parade wants to go over there? Would you condone that?
Yeah, I know how you said it.
It's not my position.
but you
What
wouldn't
I'm
be able
saying
to
is,
stop it
it's an
because
open
it's
public
public,
forum, you know?
right?
I'm not,
That's
I'm
the
not
problem, because
of
it's
that.
public.
I'm a Christian, so as far as men being men, women being women, I don't agree with it. You can do it, I'm not gonna bother you, I'm not gonna hurt you, I'm not gonna do anything to you, but I don't agree with it, I think it's wrong. But if that's a public place and they wanted to do it, how can you say no?
Yeah, but they're, at the same token, I can't go up on Buck Hill and cut trees down. It's public.
It's a state forest. I don't think that's quite the same as what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I can't use that land, they have restrictions on it. I can't take a dirt.
Yeah,
bike
but
through
it's
it.
under DEC, you know, it's under state forest
Yeah, I understand.
regulations,
No,
you know?
I always try to look at the.
But I
opposite
just
point of
thought,
view.
you know, I'm thinking of that as, like I said, if they wanted to have a big gay parade over there, and you didn't
I
like
think you'd
it,
get sued.
I think so too. I don't think you could turn around and say, no, you
'Cause
can't
it's
do that,
public.
you know? It's either public or private, it can't be both, as far as I can see. You can't have it both ways.
It's above my pay grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know either.
Too loud.
Well, that could get you in a lot of trouble, you know?
He just talks about everybody. And I caught him down here on the fire scene.
But as far as I know, if something's public, it's public. If it's not public, it's private. And if it's public, public can do whatever they want, other than destruction or, you know, fireworks or whatever, something that requires a permit or something like that, that's a different story. But as far as like using that,
There's different restrictions on a lot of things.
yeah, I'm sure there is, I'm not saying there's not, but I mean, I just use that as an example because it's something that you may or may not like, you know what I mean? But it's legal, and you can't stop them, you know, you can't say, well, I don't like that, so you can't do it, you know?
That's a good question.
That's, you know, just a point I'm trying to make.
Is he up to date?
I would,
Now, that was over, I'm not even sure what that was all about, that
I
was
think that
something to
question
do with
answers itself.
politics, you can't talk politics over there or something, is that
It's
what?
not too hard to find out.
That was, I don't know the full story, but that's, my understanding was, somebody, the lawyer or somebody here told me you can't talk politics over there, I'm saying. Now, that doesn't add up at all, you know, I mean, if it's a public place, if I go in a
See, all
public
of this needs
restaurant,
to be
and I wanna
resolved
sit down at the
because
table and
it's
talk
coming
politics
here.
with you, and they come over and say, you guys can't talk politics here.
But they would have a right to ask you
They could
not
have,
be loud. I mean, you could.
Yes.
well, I'm saying if you're not
So
disruptive
this-
or, you know, causing a
That's my whole
problem.
point with this.
Right.
Adding out that.
3 feet. Why was it that hard?
Well, it may not.
You know, I wouldn't expect to be able to go into the restaurant and scream.
Right, right, you can't.
2016.
You know, at some point, there has to be some burden of decorum on me.
But I go back to, you know, you saying you're doing what the town board says, but you don't know that's right. Before you enforce something like that, don't you think you should know whether it's right or wrong?
Yeah, but you don't, to me, that, then you go down the slippery slope. You don't want me interpreting what I think.
Yeah, but there's gotta be
My God.
an answer. You know, you're doing what you're doing, he's doing what he thinks is right, or
It had-
feels
He's
is
not
right,
doing it. He
whatever.
just- It's enjoyment. It's not, you
It
gotta.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
Bottom
if
line
he,
is,
if legally he can do that, he should be able to do that. Because it's a public, open meeting. So, but nothing's getting resolved, and nothing's happening for
we've
our
had
town.
been here twice when she threatened to call the police, call the sheriff. You know, I mean, what is that? You go to a town meeting and you're getting threatened with the police?
You got
And
it.
what the
We
hell
have
is
to
this?
resolve this
No.
somehow.
So you're not
You think it's playing now?
on the social media part of it.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It's a game that they're playing.
I don't, we
get
don't do
views.
social media. I do look on it, but I don't
Right, but that's,
We don't
participate at all. We don't have any of that stuff.
I don't want to.
So how, this isn't gonna change. If somebody doesn't
Let's all,
come in here,
let's all think it over. Maybe we can come up with a reasonable solution in this stuff where we all can learn and understand what the town's
and
doing.
get on with business.
And maybe even have some input.
yeah.
But you are the only one that was willing to stay here and talk. The rest of them, we're getting out of here. I mean, that doesn't solve anything. So, I don't know. We'll be back tomorrow night.
And I notice a real problem when anybody says that
It'd be
you
Jerry's
work for us,
Elizabeth.
that really triggers a
Put mine
problem.
in.
And
And it will
in
show
reality,
me,
it's
right?
the truth.
And
You
then
know,
I'll have mine.
you're using the
And then his.
taxpayers' money,
And then
you're
his.
working for the
And I'll post it
taxpayers.
as long as you don't censor it.
Yeah. I mean, no.
No censorship.
I mean, let me, if you define work, that would mean you're getting paid, right?
Well, some of them do, right?
Nobody on the zoning board of planning board.
So if
No,
you're
but
On
some
the
of them.
board. Does anybody on the board?
Yes,
Yeah.
some people do.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, yeah, no,
Okay.
you made it, you just made the statement that you, meaning me, you know,
Yeah, I think I just used it as an example. I don't
Right,
think
but
I actually
I
directed
think
it right
to
at
me,
you, but it's just.
if
the way I
you do
said it.
work, if I do work for you guys,
Yeah.
that means I got paid to do a job for you.
Right,
What am I
right,
putting
right.
on your Facebook?
I'm not, you know.
You're serving the
I'm a
community.
citizen who's volunteering
Right.
his time
Right,
to try to interpret.
We're five.
yeah, you're right.
My 5-year-old never had.
Put it wrongly, I guess.
Well, no, I'm just,
You got a lot shoes.
But somehow we gotta resolve this.
But they should be much more accommodating to the community that's paying the taxes here to help them understand, learn,
Discussion.
cooperate.
They don't wanna have a discussion.
Rather than just, you know, shoot this, you know, bam, you know,
She just ends it.
That's just crazy.
Like there's no expectation.
Like I said, this is the fourth one, we've never been to a planning zoning one. This is the first one, we said, oh, it won't be like that, and here it is. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me, so I'm going home again, all stressed out. I won't sleep tonight.
First one though. you know,
Ask
you're
him,
the
I'm up
first
all
one.
night having a fit because it's ridiculous. I don't know, we're trying to help.
And not, and what they're doing is not reasonable.
I
Like
don't
I
know.
said, all the decisions that are made,
The last meeting,
um,
the board's been disrupted.
how do you know what's going on? You know, if you're not able to know,
Okay, now.
you don't even know what's happening.
What is
well,
it?
it's just, all the burden is on us. Which is,
I agree.
which
I
is
agree.
great.
I agree.
I would not want it, I live in another country that way, but
Okay.
unfortunately,
I'll charge
the
you.
other side can do whatever they want.
Which
There's
is
no
completely
accountability.
charged.
Yours is, I think.
I
The
have
other
accountability.
Right.
Oh, you got it, you got it.
I don't know, we're trying,
Good luck. See you, wife.
we're trying.
And I'll, bring the information from them.
Thanks.
Yep.
You wanna
We'll see you
take
guys.
that or- I'll read it. See which way I interpret
Yeah.
this thing.
Do you need to lock it up then? Do you have a key? You got a key?
Yeah, I'll be all set.
Is that, no, that must be his phone thing. Oh, boy.
Okay, night, folks.
Thanks so much for coming.
All right.
What's out of here? It's a historic, you can take them.
Oh,
It's from the Historical Society that we have in town.
oh, good, we know nothing about that too. We know nothing about nothing here.
You'll get it.
Oh, I'm trying.
They used to be a lot more. These are quilt shows.
Yeah, the upstairs is phenomenal.
Historical reenactments.
Next time you have an
Oh, we
opportunity to
have
come
a
and
little
look.
Is there all
costume, we have
quilts
parade.
upstairs? Now, what
There
is,
used to be
what
quilts.
is that
They used to do
big
quilt
one,
shows.
what's that big hanging up on the
That
wall
was the
there?
memorial quilt for the 100th centennial celebration of the
I don't know.
Yeah, the pass, they have the password now. I think Time Warner came and fixed
But
it
does that-
because it's different
So
now.
if you
Did
were
you
gonna,
see it
if
come
you were
up?
gonna look at
My
the
phone
live
kept saying it
stream,
was trying to connect. And then when I hit connect, it said.
Yeah, password.
unavailable.
if you were gonna live stream this,
But my phone never did that until
The wife wanted
this
to do it
meeting.
through Facebook.
but if you were going to live stream it,
Yes.
and you got access to their internet, does that allow you to access any other private information or anything that's on there?
So
See,
listen,
that's what I don't.
so it could,
So it isn't like you can go into
the clerk's PC.
play any games
No.
with their.
No, if they
records.
give you the password to the other Wi-Fi network, yes, then you could get into their systems. But if they only give you guest keeps it
Well,
separate.
that's all you need.
Exactly. Exactly.
Guest thing is gone, now it just says Spectrum.
Yeah,
They're
so,
not popping up
well,
on
they
the
got it, I know, and I don't know.
Oh, were they? Yeah. Since last Monday?
So it's like
So they have a brand new
So there's
password.
like two stages to the internet. One is for the information that the town keeps, and one is the guest thing where.
Thanks for coming again.
Oh, we're trying, thank you.
Okay. Carol, do you have the keys? This was open.
When I came back out.
Oh. You came out for something?
My mouth got dry.
Oh, okay. Is that Phil? You're kidding, waiting, just waiting.
I think we should get together and have a coffee clutch one day.
A what?
I think we should have them come out to, what's the bar up there on tour, on that?
Oh, yeah.
We should go up there and we'll have a cup of coffee and talk.
They want to put together something here.